Alright, so for some of you, right, in your rooms you have pieces of cloth, right, that is draped over the furniture. So what you need to do is to create a collision piece and then a cloth to drape over. Okay, but if you already nicely created your furniture, right, what I would suggest you create a low resolution box over your high resolution furniture. You don't need it to be exactly accurate, you just need this to be the collision surface. This will make the Ncloth calculation a little bit faster. Okay, so let me just show you what I mean. I will open up a scene, right, which I already have some furniture pieces, like this, let's say this chair, and then I want to have a piece of cloth draped over it, or maybe even this handle like that. Okay, so I just want to isolate this handle, and create a cube over it first. Shift right mouse click, I will create a cube. I need to deselect this. Shift right mouse click, create a cube. Okay, let's say this is a sofa or whatever. Okay, let's try one more time. Create a cube. So this could be a sofa, this could be anything that you want to, a bed that you want to drape a piece of cloth over. So right now I will just grab this cube, because it's a low resolution cube, and it will make it a bit easier for it to become a collision. So you want to try to align it to the object. Let's say if I want the cloth to drop on this cushion, then I will create a low resolution cube, right, to drop over this handle here. So I need to switch this over to my objects axis, make it a little bit easier to align, like that. Press number 4 to go to wireframe, press R to scale. And then I will try to use a brush, a rough brush. Okay, let me stop the video playing back here. I want to see whether I have any. Okay, so you want to try to get the cube to be lined up as closely to the shape as possible. So basically I just want to create maybe like a towel to wrap over this handle here. Okay, and then that's it. Okay, this one now, this piece will become my collision piece, so I'll name it accordingly. I'll call this the collision surface. Okay, now to create my cloth, I'll just use a simple plane. Alright, and move the plane directly over the box that I want to collide it with. Okay, I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to first get rid of the subdivisions because I want to customize our own subdivision. I will scale this up in a long fashion like that. Then I will apply a bunch of, I'm going to go to poly modeling mode. Go and subdivide this by applying smooth and give it multiple subdivisions. Maybe give it as much as possible. I'll try maybe 4. Okay, 4 still not enough for me. I want to do a little bit more. Okay, right now the problem is that when I apply subdivisions, right, the squares that you see over here is not even. Let me undo that until it's back to single again. The reason is because my scale, I non-uniform scale it, that's why the square is not uniform. So I need to freeze the transformation, freeze everything back to 0, 0, 0. Then I'll do my subdivision again. Mesh, and then I subdivide again by clicking on smooth. And again, it is not, it's not smoothing nicely for me. So I'll have to manually, right, I'll do one subdivision first. I'll manually cut, middle cut here like that, because I want the number of squares, right, to be consistent like that. Then I will do my mesh and smooth again. I need to go object mode. Okay, then go to mesh and smooth again. Yeah, now it's looking better. So this time I'll give it about 3 subdivisions. Okay, 3 I think should be sufficient. Alright, you need to subdivide it enough so that there will be enough, what do you call that, folds on the cloth. Right, I want to change the cloth orientation to object. Okay, because I freeze the transformation, the rotation is now fixed to this, that's fine. Okay, so position the cloth over the collision box, which is this one. Alright, then we switch over to FX mode. You can go over to open up the FX here, but actually the menu that we're going to focus on is Ncloth. So first we need to establish the collision surface. So we select the cube, that will be the collision surface. Then go to Ncloth and then say create passive collider. So now this thing will be the passive collider. You can see a manipulator appearing. Then select the cloth. Right, then go to Ncloth and then create Ncloth. Alright, you'll notice your playback timeline, right, has also changed. Now another thing that you need to change is also the playback speed. Okay, I already changed my playback speed to 24 frames per second. Otherwise, right, if you hit play, the cloth is going to drop down very quickly. Right, so let's change back to shaded mode. Right, and then play back and see what happens. Okay, sometimes you have to play back a couple of times. Yeah, okay, now it's generating the simulation. Okay, so you can see the cloth right now actually dropped down already. So sometimes you will not see it reacting, so you have to wait for it to happen. So now you can see that when I scrub the timeline, right, the cloth just drops onto the surface like that. Okay, so the other objects, right, that are not passive colliders, you can see that nothing happens to it. Okay, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to select this collider, and then I'm going to duplicate another piece here. Okay, but take note, this piece does not have a collider assigned to it. So I want to see whether it works with two colliders. So I want to put one more piece here. Then apply a Ncloth passive collider. Okay, right now it's recalculating, and then yeah, true enough, you can see that the cloth right now is colliding onto this surface here like that. So I can scrub the timeline and then find the frame that I want. Okay, maybe this is the deformation that I want. Now I can hide this and hide this. Select the cloth, and I will have to make this permanent. I believe, let me see whether is it delete history. If I delete away the history, yeah, now it's become permanent. Right. So if I hit the playback, you see nothing happens anymore. So if we delete the history, now the cloth will become permanently distorted. Now, of course, some parts still need it to be tweaked. So you can press number 3 to subdivide the cloth. Alright. And you can use the sculpting tool. Alright, sculpting tool, right? Using the sculpting tools over here in this sculpting tab. Okay, make sure you select the correct piece. Right now I'm selected the wrong piece. Go to sculpting tool. Alright, so let's say you want to put a little bit more. Okay, this one is too strong. Okay, the sculpting strength is too strong right now. Double click on the sculpting tool. Reduce the strength until it is barely noticeable, like 0.2. So let's see how it goes. Okay, 0.2 is still a little bit too strong for me. I'm going to bring it down to 0.01. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, so 0.01 is a bit too weak. 0.05. Okay, so now this one is slightly better. So I can paint the wrinkles onto the cloth, and if you want to push it in, you hold down the control. Holding control, right, will push out the cloth, and then left mouse clicking and dragging, right, will pull out the cloth, right. So holding down the control, you can push it down like that. So right now I'm sculpting the cloth, and also you can use soft selection. Let me switch back to selection, then go over to vertex. Grab a vertex, hold down to B, or press B and release, not hold down to B. Press B and release. And then you can just simply use the move tool, right, to just adjust this. Okay, to tweak it a little bit. Alright, so yeah, this is how you can use the Ncloth, right, to create cloth, right, that's overlapped on the surface. Alright, and then the sculpting is also very helpful. You can use the smoothing tool to smooth out areas you don't want to have textures. Right? You can hold down to B to increase the size of the brush. So right now I'm smoothing certain areas that I don't want to be so rough. Okay, so go and experiment with this. So this is a good way for you to create like fabric objects. okay, using both Ncloth, which is under FX, Ncloth, and also using the sculpting tool, which you can find in the sculpting tab here.